So I want to talk to you about something that I have found so interesting when working with my clients this year in 2024, because we have seen a difference in the sales cycles. We've seen a difference in buyer behavior and economic turmoil in a world where there's different geopolitical climates that affects buyers' decision making. And so, for example, in like the 2020-2022 era, you could just send a few sales emails, link someone to maybe a short landing page you have, and you would get conversions pretty easily. Now in 2024, what we're seeing with clients in the agency and just what I'm seeing amongst my marketing peers and everyone that is in the entrepreneurship world is that buyer cycles are going back to being longer like they were before the pandemic, where you actually have to prove your offer, you have to bring it to market, you have to get in those 12 to 20 touch points if you have a program that is over the $2,000 price point, upwards of $20,000 to $30,000, right? Because even with B2B sales, when I actually did this sales course with Course Career, shout out to them, by the way, because they have a phenomenal tech sales course. I used it to up-level my business and my clients' businesses, and it's so interesting that in the realm of tech sales, they expect that they are going to be talking with a client, putting them in the cadence for a span of 6 months to 18 months on average. They know ahead of time that these people probably will not be buying until 6 months to 18 months down the line for these large software technology type of services. And so this is an example that you can take and implement in your own business, that understanding when you go into marketing, knowing your average buyer cycle. Okay, write this down. When you go into marketing, knowing your average buying cycle, it makes it easier for you to then invest in a marketing strategist or a fractional marketing director or a retention strategist, because you yourself as the founder, you know how long on average it takes to close a client. But when you don't pay attention to those numbers, when you don't pay attention to the actual and data and statistics behind your buyers and how they interact with your business, and then you use marketing, you really don't know what you're doing. And so you may be hiring or investing in people that also don't know, because none of you are paying attention to the data and analytics that matter. This is why inside magnetic emails for the past, it's been a while now, since 2020, I have been doing a deep dive with clients before we ever work together, okay? During the kickoff call, it's a 20-question framework. It may seem redundant, it may seem like, why is all this information necessary? All of this information is necessary. This is the data that tech sales companies use, and if you've been paying attention to the headlines, there are tech companies like Apple, Nvidia, these different companies that are expanding in times of turmoil while other companies are failing. And you have to sit and ask yourself, why is that happening? Well, it's happening because they actually pay attention to data and they use data in strategic decision making. But when you are the one behind the laptop, doing all the writing for yourself, doing all the marketing yourself, not paying attention to analytics, you don't have time to act as the visionary that you need to show up as to expand your business. And that can be a detrimental mistake in summer of 2024, moving into 2025, 2026, because the economic climate is different. So you need to use more wisdom. You need to be strategic with how you're bringing your product to market, and you need to understand that a business is not built on one person alone. Neither is a marketing strategy. You need different eyes to see gaps in the market. You need to analyze your own analytics and your data and statistics to understand your buyers and to understand what language they're using. And newsflash again, ChatGPT alone cannot perform these actions for you. So I believe we'll continue to see a shift in the market in the online business sphere and in business in general, whether it's retail or tech, whatever the business is. We're going to see a divide between entrepreneurs that actually really care about what's going on in their client's mind and those that don't. Before I end this video, I was talking earlier about how things have shifted. What I'm seeing with emails that is working exponentially, okay? For example, for one client, we just got 95 clicks in one email. Let's pause. What would that do for your business right now? If you sent out an email today and there were 95 clicks for that one email, what would that do? Run some numbers in your head, okay? And guess what? The email was a follow-up email, was number one. And then the other top email is storytelling. And when I say storytelling, I'm not just like talking about, I love my finance consulting, and I started out 10 years ago and now I'm doing this. When I say storytelling, I'll give you an example. We actually did an email talking about how we stubbed our toe. These random relatability stories are what people want to hear, and then you use transitions to shift and pull a universal lesson to pull that audience in to work with you, okay? Think about universal lessons that you can learn just from living everyday life. Like, I could literally write an email right now, looking out this window, I see a mountainside, and I could say, you know what, this mountainside is phenomenal. Can you believe it? And that would be the subject line, and people would open and people would click because they're intrigued. It's different. It's not saying in the subject line, hey, come join my new program. It's something that's like, I wonder what that's about. I wonder what she's talking about. Oh, a mountainside. I like mountains, or I'd like to explore mountains. This is buyer psychology. Human psychology is so simple. Don't overcomplicate it, okay? Don't overcomplicate it. Be a human, talk like a human, and you'll sell to more humans. Talk soon.